Well, you take a break from the makeup industry for a couple of weeks and everything goes south. New brands are coming up, old brands are dying, beauty base seems to be going through a lot of troubles, and so many new products. We are going to be talking about all of it today. If you have not been here before, I have been doing these new makeup releases, whether or not I think they're good, whether or not I think they're a bad idea, gossiping about some of the news in the beauty industry for I think like 8 or 9 years at this point. I took a couple of weeks break because if you didn't know, currently in my mother-in-law's attic, we moved back to Europe. I did have a video about that last time has lost all meaning. But my last video was about literally me and my husband already moved back to Europe. We are in a transition period right now. That's why I'm filming in my mother-in-law's attic. By the way, thank you so much for all the kind words about the situation. As you can see, my background is an attic. I'm rocking with the natural daylight. I'm doing the best I can. Thank you so much for all the support and all the kind words. It really, really does mean a lot. I did get a lot of questions last video, so I'm going to be answering those in the future, but I'm waiting until we're in our new spot. So if you want to hear more about that, that was last video. But today we're going to be talking about all the makeup news, well, the most interesting ones that have been happening. But before we do that, before we jump in, I'm going to have a sip of coffee and you get to listen to this week's sponsor, which I'm so grateful. It is no secret that I love mobile games. I love playing mobile games on my phone. I love those little puzzle games. I love the cute little games. It is just the perfect way for me to wind down, to relax, or to fill a little waiting time, maybe when you're in line or when you're at the bus. And I am so excited to say that this video is sponsored by Gxve. I'm so excited to have them back on my channel. I've talked about them before. Gxve is a way for you to play games on your phone, enjoy your time, and earn gems that can be exchanged for real money. And Gxve is free to download and free to use. No fees, no ads, and you don't need to add your credit card information at any stage of this app. All you have to do is grant permission to track game progress. They never share or collect personal data. And once you're in the app, choose what game you want to play, track the data within the app, earn gems, and get rewarded for the time you're spending in these fun games. You can cash out via PayPal, Amazon gift cards, or other top brands. And again, no credit card info needed. One of the games that I just started playing that I found inside the cache at Gxve is the Merge Hotel Empire. This is such a cute game where you merge different things together. You try to do the different tasks that are up here, you collect different points, and then you can build on your hotel. I love games like these. There are little puzzle games, and then you build and make something prettier. I'm all about making things neat and pretty. And the more I play, the more I level up, the more gems I earn inside of Gxve. Again, totally for free, and I can exchange it for real money through PayPal or different coupons or other rewards. They also have a new feature where you can do different other tasks throughout games, and like I said, I'm just a big fan of gaming, and this just makes sense for me. You're able to do the games you love, find new games, and play games you already love, and the more you play, the more time you put into it, the more you level up, the more gems you get, and you can get some money back for the time you spent doing something you already enjoy. So if you're like me and you love playing games on your mobile, definitely do not miss out on trying Gxve. You can download the app free with my link down below. Like I said, this is free to download, free to use, no ads, no credit card info needed. Definitely check it out down below through my link. If you use my link, you can get up to 3,999 gems as a signing bonus, so definitely don't forget to check that out. And again, thank you so much Gxve for coming back and sponsoring another video on my channel. This is just such a fun app that really makes sense, especially for someone like me that really loves the game. So thank you again for sponsoring my video. Don't forget to check them out in the description box down below, and let's get into the rest of the video. Coffee really is the nectar of gods. This look, I did not film it, but I did do it with something that is coming. I want to say soon, but that might be a lie. I'm trying not to lie. But I'm going to divide this video a little bit into different segments because clearly I'm not going to be able to talk about all the things that have been happening. This is not possible. So I'm going to start with some industry news. We'll start with that. And then I'm going to be diving into indie releases. And then I'm going to end with mainstream news, the ones that I think are the best, the most interesting, and things that I myself am like genuinely interested in. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. Per usual, I will leave details about all of the things that I'm talking about down in the description box. And also, if things are already available, I will pop them up somewhere here on YouTube Shopping. So if you're interested in picking something up and you do choose to either use my links or my codes, thank you so much for supporting me through this fun time. Chaotic time. It really, really does help out. But let me see if I can actually, am I able to scoochy? Huh? Let me, We're going through rough times. Oh my gosh. I think this floor is like leaning. I can't even see myself in the viewfinder right now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think that's a bad thing. Okay, let me try and be here, and I'll put some stuff over here and we'll see what's happening. Let's actually start with Beauty Bay. I did talk about this briefly. Was it on my makeup stories? Where did I talk about this? On makeup stories. But like, by the way, if you want to see more about what's happening in my day-to-day life, Instagram is the place. I do upload pictures and stuff and little video clips from my day-to-day on my Instagram. If you want to see pictures from Sweden, if you want to see the forest, if you want to see the dogs, always Instagram stories. So definitely check that out down below. That's where I'm uploading most of it. And I feel like I might have shared something about Beauty Bay on my stories. I'm not 100% sure, but a couple of weeks ago, let me see if I can pull up the information. Oh my God, there's so much. I have a folder where I save makeup news on Instagram, and that folder is wild right now. Okay, Beauty Bay went into almost what I would call like Chapter 11 bankruptcy of the UK, because Beauty Bay is a big online retailer for makeup and beauty items that is based out of the UK. I do think they have a warehouse in the EU as well, so that you can purchase from them. Well, right, not right now, not right now, but you can purchase from them and you don't have to do the European like taxes and stuff like that. But the Beauty Bay files a notice of intent to appoint administrator as the website went offline. Oh my God, let me see if I can just sit a little bit more comfortable. So the website just literally went offline, and it's called file a notice of intent to appoint administrator. Basically, I think I've read up a little bit about this, and correct me if I'm wrong, because some of you are really good at business, and that is not what I have my degree in, okay? I have my degree in environmental science. It doesn't help with any of this. But basically, they were not able to pay the debt that they had. So they were appointing administrators to take them out of this, because they had an intent to continue their business and to keep Beauty Bay open. And it ended up with them actually selling Beauty Bay to, and I think it was a French brand, if I'm not totally mistaken, or like a French business, a company that bought Beauty Bay. So it is no longer with the original owners. It's now with, I'm pretty sure it was French. Again, I've been reading, listen, just because I haven't been uploading doesn't mean that I haven't been reading up about stuff that's going on in the beauty community. There's been a lot of things going on. I have so many fun things to talk about. So basically, Beauty Bay has now announced, and they put this up on their Instagram, because they just literally went offline one day and they were like, website is not available. They were just like, boop, we're gone. So it says, to our community, this they put up on the Beauty Bay Instagram. It's official, we're coming back. After not really saying much other than like, oops, we're gone. We know you missed us, and trust us, we've missed you even more. Sorry we've been quiet for so long. We've been taking some time behind the scenes, making sure we come back in the right way for you. Our Beauty Bay community has always meant everything to us, and we can't wait to be reunited. We'll be back soon, bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Stay tuned. And basically, the time that they were offline, that's when they went through this almost bankruptcy, trying to, figure stuff out, and they got sold to this new business. So Beauty Bay is apparently opening up again. I don't know if it's going to be the same as before. I will say, I remember when Beauty Bay, this is going to be me, I'm speculating, don't sue me. This is me speculating. My opinion is that Beauty Bay probably bit up a little bit more than they could chew, because I remember the time when Beauty Bay was the place to shop at. Beauty Bay had all of those brands in Europe that you just really couldn't get a hold of without buying from the brand's own websites. Back when Jeffree Star was a brand that people were still very excited about, Melt, Dose of Colors, a lot of those brands that was not readily available to us in Europe. Now you can get a hold of those brands much easier. Beauty Bay had a bunch of those brands, and at fairly reasonable prices as well, because sometimes when you buy stuff from European retailers, the price goes up a bit because of, taxes, tariffs, and like a bunch of different things. Everybody needs to make money somehow. But the prices were pretty good. And then they launched their own brand, and they were really ahead of the time when it came to formulas and color stories, and the price point was great. And they had like brands like Made by Mitchell when they launched, and they were having collabs with like Made by Mitchell and also Nikki Tutorials, and they were really up there back in the day. And I think a couple of things that they did, some changes that they did, didn't work out for them. One was, I think that their own brand, I think that they didn't, which I've said this with a lot of brands, they didn't continue to take the brand into today. A lot of the things that they are launching today with the eyeshadow palettes and with the products that they're releasing, they are still in the kind of formulations that were popular in 2016. They did not further their formulations to get with the time and to get even better with the times. So their eyeshadow palettes that was great in 2017 are just seen as okay today because formulations have just gone so much farther. And that's one of the things that I see with brands that used to be really popular and now they're not as popular anymore. And it's because I think they're just not willing to change up their formulas and change up their products to continue with formula. When they get better, they also need to get better. When formulas get better, they need to bring the better formulations as well. And then I also think TikTok Shop really got them. Some of the brands that they were probably selling a lot of, like Made by Mitchell, is now making bank on TikTok Shop, and I don't think that they could really compete with TikTok Shop. And I also think this is my opinion, one of the things that I think the Beauty Bay did wrong was that they stopped stocking some of those brands that were a little smaller and a little harder to get a hold of. A lot of indie brands, Lunar Beauty used to be on Beauty Bay, and they instead started stocking bigger mainstream brands. But then all of a sudden you're competing with Selfridges and Sephora, that is now in the UK as well. And I mean, Sephora is a European company. They're based out of France. They're competing with Sephora and Boots and Selfridges. And I don't think that that was a smart move, because they used to be an unbeatable destination for beauty that was like not the brands you always saw everywhere. But now at Beauty Bay, it's their brand that seems a little snoozy. There are brands that probably sell most of their products on TikTok Shop, and then there are brands that you can just get anywhere. And I think that that's probably where things went wrong. They started competing with the big dogs, and I really think that they should have kept the air of being the destination for brands that are not as well known. And again, this is just my opinion of where I think things went wrong. I have also heard from behind the scenes that they were not very easy to work with as an indie brand. I've heard that from more than one place. So maybe they just shot themselves in the foot trying to be bigger than maybe they should have. Because again, competing with indie brands is one thing. Competing with Sephora and Selfridges, that's something totally different. The next beauty news I want to talk about is that it seems like Gxve Beauty by Gwen Stefani has officially closed down. I am not super surprised that this happened. Gxve Beauty had honestly really high quality products. They were just not, what was new? What were they really like bringing to the table other than great formulas in colors you can get anywhere? The packaging wasn't specific or like unique in any way. It didn't feel like super high quality packaging. The colors weren't unique in any way. The product was of great quality, but they just weren't bringing anything new to the table. And also the owner, Gwen Stefani, has been in quite a lot of controversy the last couple of years. A lot of things have come out about her that her fans have not been jiving with. So she probably lost a lot of her consumer base because of that as well. While I guess other people probably saw that and she gained new fans, but I think she probably had a switch in fans. And I think that probably hurt the brand as well. So it seems like that brand is no longer available. I don't think anyone's surprised because they have seen it at like Marshalls and TJ Maxx for a really, really long time. It exited Sephora a while ago. And I don't think anyone's surprised to see that like it seems like the website is closed down. They're no longer in business. But still, it is another brand that is gone. And again, I'm not super surprised. I said, did I say it last year? I don't remember. But I did say that I do think that we're coming into another period now where even more brands are going to close down. And I don't think last time a lot of brands were blaming, I'm saying blaming with like a lot of like the pinches of salt are really being thrown around here, but they were blaming COVID because they were shutting down. And now I think a lot of brands are going to be blaming probably tariffs or the uncertainty of the world, which I probably think maybe was the last nail in the coffin for some of these brands. But I think that like they were already struggling and then, you know, something happened and they just couldn't recover from it. So I would not be surprised to see even more brands close during the next like year or two because of the competition that's going on right now. It's harsh. There's so many brands, but also I think that like if you are not creating a brand that people keep being interested in and bring something new to the table, whatever that may be, I do think that there's going to be some brands that are struggling. I also want to talk about the new brand, which is Leaked Labs by it's Lipstick Lesbians. So I'm not fully read up on this Lipstick Lesbians because their approach to makeup is not necessarily the approach to makeup that I have. I'm pretty sure both of them have been in the makeup industry, or at least one of them have worked with makeup formulations for different brands, which is a really interesting perspective. But they are more focused on like the actual formula and the product, and maybe not as focused, from what I've been gathering, of like the actual like practicality of a product, if it's worth the money. Because sometimes they'll look at something and be like, this is so innovative, this is such a cool formula, and the consumer might be like, okay, but is it worth $40? So I think they just have a different approach to it, which honestly, fair. I mean, I have a different approach to things too. I mean, a lot of people will look at my makeup and be like, I definitely don't want to look like that. And again, everybody has your own perspective. And I definitely respect other people's perspective, but I haven't been keeping a close eye on them. So I was kind of surprised when they were launching their own brand that is called Leaked Labs. And basically, I've been trying to read up about this. Basically, they are taking formulations, and instead of going through all the rigmaroles and getting the perfect packaging and finishing everything up before releasing it, they're releasing the leaked lab samples so that you can purchase it and be part of like their focus group, basically. And whether or not they're going to be finishing up this product, perfecting everything with packaging and stuff, I think mainly. It seems like their first product, the Flexi, it's like the Flexi highlighters, it seems like it's sold out. It was sold in a tin. If I'm not, again, I've been trying to read up about this. It was in a tin. It's like almost like a metallic sheet of like lasagna, like fresh lasagna plates. It's like a circle and it's 4 different colors. And I think it was $34. I think you get like 1 gram of each color in a little tin. You can pick them up and you can apply it dry or you can apply it wet. I'm showing you here the swatches, and I will say, I've talked about this before on my channel, I think it's very important to not Photoshop swatches. I think it's very important to show swatches so that people can get a feel for how the product's going to look on the skin. But I also think from a marketing standpoint, I say this as like, you might not agree with me, but I think it's very important to make your product look as good as it can. Like, you're not selling the dream with these swatches. I saw those swatches, I swear this was my face. These swatches are not making me want to part with $34. I saw that and I was like, that's a firm no. Thank you, but no thank you. That is an awful swatch. I've also seen some of the application on the models. It is rough. It's rough, y'all. It's not great. Okay. It's like, it literally looks dirty. And that's the thing. I've seen other people use it. I've seen some TikToks. I've seen some people talk about it. And some people seem excited. Some people seem not excited, which, I mean, that happens with all new makeup products. But it looks better from their customers than it does from the brand. Which, I mean, happens. But, like, the brand pictures are rough. They're not great. I don't know why you would release that. Because I once had some of my products sent to be photographed, and I got the pictures back, and I was like, this is not how the product looks. And I chose to not show the pictures, and that's what I think that they should have done too. They should have been like, listen, we can't show these pictures. This is not what the product looks like. $34 for approximately 4 grams of product is a high price tag. That is a high price tag. My blushes, for example, the blushes from my brand Cinch is a pretty typical amount. I think it's 7 grams, 7.5 grams. Maybe it's a little higher than some brands, but that is $18 in a finished packaging. And I think sometimes people forget that what you pay for when you buy a product is, a lot of the times, the packaging can be very expensive. To find the right packaging for your product, to find something that looks appealing, feels appealing, holds the product, makes the product easy to apply, all of those things can sometimes cost almost as much as the actual product. So when it is $34 for 4 grams of product in a non-finished packaging, I'm wondering what the finished cost would be. And I actually think, because they were saying this was a formula that's been around for a while, none of the bigger brands have picked it up. And again, I will tell you, that should have been a sign. Because what I first thought when I saw this product being demoed is, what packaging could you possibly sell this in? Because to be able to use this the way it is, because you can pick it up, it's like, again, like a little like pasta sheet. You can apply it dry, so rub it on your face, you can spray it and use it wet, and it's supposed to be more thing. The thing is with this formula, to be able to use it the way that they want you to use it, you need to be able to pick it up. So from a product development standpoint, what kind of packaging could you even possibly have for this? And I think this is the reason why the other brands didn't pick it up, because they probably realized the limitations of packaging. There is no packaging that is a good idea for this product, because it has to be something where you can pick it up and put it back down again. And that's just a packaging nightmare. So I don't know. You know, sometimes you look at a thing and you're like, just because you can, maybe you shouldn't. And I think that this is that kind of product. I think this is a fun idea. There's a lot of things that have come out that has been new and innovative. The jelly Stix, that's fun and innovative, but you can still use it. The putty formulas, you know, the kind of putty formulas that we've seen a lot with blushes, innovative, but still usable. This one is innovative and it is new, but is it useful? I don't see a packaging where this is easy to use, because I don't want to pick up my makeup and rub it on my cheek. I really, really do not. And I mean, I think Lush did makeup that was like, you know, that kind of like no packaging thing. And I looked at that and I was like, I'm good, thank you. So I am wondering where this could go. I mean, they sold out. I don't know how many they had, but this is not the kind of thing that I want to spend my money on, but I am excited to see somewhat of a disruptor in the industry. Although I will say this is not the first time a brand has allowed the customers to try out a non-finished product and give their feedback. I know Refer does that. I will say though, Refer does give you the product for free. In exchange for your thoughts, they will send you a free brush. You give them your thoughts, and that's how they test out the product. You don't have to pay for it. So again, this is not how I would do in 2026. This is not how I would launch a makeup brand. I will say, don't make your customers pay for testing. Don't make your customers pay for a product they haven't seen. I even think pre-orders, crowdfunding, all of these things. I'm like, these people have enough money to make a finished product. That's my opinion. And again, sometimes when you just have makeup as a hobby, it could be fun to be part of a project like this. But I also am like, this is not for me. It's not for me. Last time I had this video, we were talking about the fact that Pat McGrath has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I also want to squeeze in here that since then, it seems like Pat McGrath has taken back her brand. She's gotten new funding. She got rid of the other investors that want to sell her assets. And hopefully this means that the brand will stay and that the brand will once again be a little bit more creative, because we've been getting some signals from Pat McGrath herself saying that she was not able to do exactly what she wanted with the brand under the current administrators or the current investors, which would explain why some of the launches just felt a little uninspired, quite honestly. And I am excited to see what this means for the brand. Remember, it takes a long time to develop new products, so you will probably not see any changes like that during 2026, and maybe not even during 2027, but hopefully for the future we'll be able to see a new and refreshed Pat McGrath Labs, because I am rooting for the brand and I really want them to have a successful a successful stay here in the community, because I really do think that when they launched, they were bringing something new to the industry. And I do think that the investors probably ruined the vision. And I am excited to see the vision make a comeback, maybe in 2027. Okay, so I had to go and fetch, because I do have two new indie palettes with me right now. One of them being the Cleric palette by Fantasy Cosmetica. I do have this one with me. I haven't done anything with it yet. I'm hoping to be able to find a space here where I can do some proper swatches. I don't have any kind of lights or anything with me, so I'm very depending on the natural daylight, which I don't love being able to plan my own content. But the Cleric palette is available now. I hope you can see a little bit here. I'm putting a picture here as well. It's really pretty. I really like the mix of like the cool and the warm, the light and the dark. You know, I really love that. I think this is a really interesting color story, and I'm looking forward to swatching it and to using it. You know, I love Fantasy Cosmetica. Pretty sure this palette is available now. You can use my code Gxve with Fantasy Cosmetica and get some money off. All of these things, like indie brands, always check out Monolith as well. They do carry a lot of different indie brands, including my own brand, Cinch Beauty. I know a lot of stuff are out of stock right now with Cinch Beauty at Monolith, but they are restocking. They have ordered the restocks. They're restocking. And you can actually use my discount code Gxve, and it should work on Monolith as well, on a bunch of their stuff. Another release that is also available. Is it available or is it launching soon? I think this is available. This is by Simply Posh Cosmetics, and this is the Lavender Feels palette. This looks so cute. I really like the packaging. I don't know if you can even see. The packaging is really cute. It's like textured. It's really cute. Lavender Feels, and I'm hoping you can see some here as well, how it looks. Again, I haven't done anything with this palette. I haven't swatched it. I haven't done anything. But it is really cute, and they said that they did this half as like the field and this half as the flowers, and I thought that's really nice. I usually love Simply Posh Cosmetics and and Fantasy Cosmetics formulas. I'm super excited to be trying these two out. I just want to let you know that I do have them with me, and eventually, let me see where I can put these. Eventually I will do something with them. I'm just in the, you know, the in-between of everything. I also have seen the collab between Unearthly Cosmetics and Andromeda. What is this one actually called? It looks so incredibly cute. This one I don't have with me. I do know the owner, and I do know Andromeda as well, and I literally said, listen, let's sort this out when I'm in my new place. Maybe I'll even buy it myself from Monolith. I don't know if they're gonna be stocking it, but I'm pretty sure that this one is available as well. Let me double check. It's called Woeful Whimsy. It is launching. Yes, it's already available, $48. It's really cute. I do want to try this out as well. I will probably, like I said, order this one myself, or maybe they'll send it to me in PR. It doesn't even matter. Everything is just so up in the air right now, but it looks so cute. I love the Unearthly Cosmetics quality, and I love Andromeda. I think they're such a cool person, and I definitely want to support them and buy this one. I think it's such a cool one. Another thing that also is available is, of course, my bestie Heather Austin, her collab together with Oden's Eye. This one has launched. My code doesn't work on collab items with Oden's Eye, but if you're ordering anything else, of course, you can always add my code Gxve at the checkout and get some money off the other things. I did do a video on this one, me and Heather. She was visiting me. Someone was asking me in my last video, they're like, is this the reason why everyone's been visiting you in Austin? Yes. It's because we were moving and a lot of people wanted to visit us before we moved. And Heather was with me with her family. They spent the weekend with us, and we actually got to film together with this collab. It is so beautiful. I even have it here with me, I think, somewhere, but I think it's still bubble wrapped. But this was actually one of the things that I brought with me to wear here when I am in Sweden. Everything else, the rest of my makeup is packed up and getting shipped to where we're moving next. But this one is so beautiful. You definitely should check it out. Another release that has already happened is the Sapphire Selene by Adept Cosmetics. This packaging is so beautiful. It's like almost like a minty, marbled kind of a package. It's absolutely beautiful. The swatches look beautiful, but I will say, let me see if I can pop up something else as well. I don't think these are dupes, but I will say a lot of the Adept Cosmetics palettes have been that cool toned purples and greens meet, and I'm starting to see like a pattern of how a lot of these palettes are built up. The purples, the greens, a variation of them, shimmers, mattes, you know, and I really would like to see something totally different from the brand. And the last time I tried the brand, I really thought their mattes were getting to be even better. They've always had great shimmers, but the mattes have not always been the best. But the last time I tried them, I really did enjoy the mattes as well. And I didn't purchase this one because it was in the middle of move and everything, and I was just like, I can't do it. You can use my code Gxve with Adept Cosmetics. I might end up picking this one up later. I do love that there's 2 pastels in there. You know, I'm a big fan of a good pastel, but right now I didn't pick it up, but I might change my mind later. Another release that is happening real soon is from Blend Bunny and their masterclass that they have together with Jordan Liberty. This is like their little sub brand that she has with the amazing makeup artist Jordan Liberty. They are launching some bronzer and like some sculpt bronzer contour palettes, and they have like a deep one, a medium tan, and a light fair, I think. And then they're launching 4 new lip glosses and a collection of pens that you can use both on your eyes and your lips. And I think these all look really, really incredible. I am very excited to try this out because, you know, I told you this before, the blush formula from the masterclass is just such a good formulation. I really, really love how they look on the cheek. They look amazing. So I'm really excited to be trying out more cheek products with this formulation because they're so stunning. And I love the colors of the lip glosses, lip creams as well. Absolutely stunning. So I'm really excited to be trying these out. Again, you can use my code Gxve with Blend Money, even with the masterclass, and you can get some money off. I did talk to the owner and asked her like, what shade do you recommend for me? And she said that she thinks the fair light will be good for me, even though I use a medium foundation in the summer, but we're still talking about it, so we'll see which one I end up picking up because I'm definitely not tan. But I do use a medium foundation in summer. Am I a medium skin tone? No. What can I say? The foundation brands keep thinking a tan Swedish girl is a medium. I don't know what to do with that information, but I want to make sure that I don't get something that is too light for me. Before we get into some new and noteworthy releases from mainstream brands that I'm actually intrigued by, let's talk about, I think this is probably an indie brand, but it's probably a little bit more mainstream, so a lot of people don't see it as an indie brand, and that is this huge palette from P. Louise. We are no longer in like coffee, like, do you see this lady behind this palette? She's like covering up her entire existence with this palette. We are no longer in coffee table territory. This is like full-on dining table. Like I could serve like Christmas lunch on this table. Like, what actually is going on? This is insanity. This is bigger than my filming desk. Where are you putting this? Where are you doing your makeup where you can pull out this and just be like, you know, hanging over the table and just pick it? In what universe are we where this makes sense? Like, look at her. She can barely fit the palette in frame. It is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And people are gonna be like, oh, you have everything you need. Yeah, but where are you putting this? How are you using this? Where are you going to be doing your makeup for this to make sense? Absolute insanity. I will never understand this level of just, it's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Okay, let's quickly touch on some mainstream news that I think are really fun and you might be interested in as well. The first one is actually from One Size, and this is the B12 base thinner. They did send this one to me in PR before I left the US. I probably have it here somewhere. This is the foundation thinner. The old one, the original one, had also like a little bit of a pearlescent sheen to it, but it was lighter. And this one has more of a bronzy sheen to it. It's very sheer and gel-like, and this one mixes into your foundation and makes it thinner and shears out the coverage of it, making something a little thinner, sheerer, and glowier, perfect for summer. And this one has a bronzy undertone. I think this one is genius. I'm so excited to be using this. The B12 is one of my favorite products from One Size, and I think an amazing idea to come out with it in a bronzy shade. Definitely excited about this. I think it is a great release. Also, do you remember when I said a lot of these brands are known for their signature scent? It's going to come out with that signature scent in more body care products. And I said, I think Amika is going to come out with a shower lotion or shower gel. here it is. Not surprised whatsoever. I think even more brands are gonna do stuff like this. Like, you're gonna see this from more brands. People are now in an era where they're willing to pay more for high-end body care products. We're in this, like, you know, the everything shower, and I think people right now are in the air, like, they're willing to pay $10, $15, $20 for shower gel in a way that they weren't before. Not everyone, of course, but I do think it's an interesting turn of events. And like I said, I think we're going to see even more stuff like this. I would not be surprised if we see more stuff like this. Colourpop has come out with a new palette. It's called Silver Lining. And then there are 3 juicy plumping lip oils in more like neutral warm shades. I think this palette will be a big hit with people that probably missed the, was it Smoke Show or something? The other 9pan palette that they had that was like a monochromatic black and gray palette. I think this one is like a softer version of that. I do love their cardboard packaging. Colourpop has some of the best cardboard packaging in the game. It's such great cardboard packaging. And I think this palette will probably be something that a lot of people will enjoy. Colourpop did say they were going to send PR to me, but I also said, listen, if it's, you don't have to send it to me here in Sweden. I'll just give you my updated address when I have it. So maybe this will arrive, maybe it won't. Who knows? I have no idea. And it's the same with the new. They says that it's a new formula and new shades of their blush sticks. And I think this is a really good idea. Their blush sticks were a little bit too stiff and waxy, the formula they had before. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't great. So I don't think it's a bad idea for them to reformulate that. It seems like they're coming out with 11, 12 different shades. Seems to be some like light, dark, warm, cool. Like, I think it's a smart idea to reformulate the blush sticks because a lot of people are loving blush sticks, but I think their formula wasn't the best. You can use my code Gxve with Colourpop as well on their website and get 10% off your order. It doesn't work on sale items and some bundle options, but always try out the code at checkout and see if you can get a little money off. We also have been able to see that both Huda Beauty and Laura Mercier has released a green setting powder that's supposed to be you know, working against the redness of your skin. I will say, I think that this is something that I don't need a green setting powder. I don't have a lot of redness in my skin, and the little redness that I have is usually totally, if I just use a sheer skin tint, the redness goes away. So this is not something that I'm battling with. I did used to get PR from Huda, but I haven't been able to change my address. Maybe it's still being sent to Texas. I mean, who knows? There are so many brands that did not get back to me when I said, please don't send more PR to Texas. That's been the bane of my existence, but it's very interesting to see 2 brands that think so alike and release such a similar powder almost at the same time. So maybe this is the new trend with even more colored powders. This is not something that I need personally, but maybe if you're interested, you have 2 different options to choose from. We've also seen some new releases from Too Faced. I think it's really smart for them to re-release their bronzers because it's been a long time coming, and the cream bronzer they released last year is great. Such a great product. I think it's really smart for them to expand on that, and they have released new shades. I'm showing you one shade here of the Sun Bunny, but they're releasing more shades of that, which is a blush and bronzer duo that people really loved, and this time they're coming up with more shades, and of course their matte chocolate bronzers, and they're also releasing some neutral lip liners. I think this is probably one of the smarter releases from them. I definitely want to see it in store and see what it's like. I've also seen, speaking of Pat McGrath, that they are releasing the Lip Sculpt and Shade Contour Duos, which is like a lip liner and lip crayon all in ones. I said lip crayons might have a moment, and maybe this is how they're going to come back as a duo. I actually think this is a really smart idea, and I really like the color combos that they did. Some really innovative color combos in here with the liner and the lip color, which I think is really speaking again to the creativity of Pat McGrath herself. So I'm really actually enjoying how those looks. Not something that I'm going to be purchasing. I'm trying to not purchase any makeup whatsoever while I'm literally in my mother-in-law's attic in the middle of the forest in Sweden. Like, why? So I'm trying to be a little smart right now, not buying anything. I will say though, the new release from NARS, I'm salivating. You know, I love the new highlighter formula from NARS. I mentioned it in my yearly favorites last year. I absolutely love it. And now they're coming out with a blush highlighter hybrid and highlighter sticks. Be still my heart. It looks incredible. Again, NARS was one of the brands I got PR from to Texas. They have not answered back any of my emails or DMs asking to not, please don't send any more to Texas. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Hopefully these will release in Europe pretty quickly as well, because I definitely want to pick up a couple of these. They look absolutely incredible. It says they're releasing in April 2026, and NARS is actually one of the brands that do release stuff in Europe pretty quickly as well, and I really, really hope that this will be one of them, because I am dying to try those out. They look so incredible. Another brand that are releasing some highlighters is Hourglass, in this packaging that is the squeezy one with the drops. This is the Unreal Liquid Highlighters. I will say these do look really pretty, and I've seen some swatches on the cheeks that look incredible. I feel like this is one of those that I want to see it in store. I want to swatch it on my hand. I want to see the formula. I want to feel the texture of them. But overall, just the product photography looks incredible, and I'm kind of like, they're kind of selling me on the dream. I gotta say, I'm kind of into it. NYX is also having a new collab, and this is NYX together with the Simpsons. Honestly, it looks really cool. The brow gel, I love that with the little comb. It's like the brow glue with the Marge hair. That is so cool. I would love to get that one. Honestly, it looks really beautiful. They're like donut highlighters. There is some of those matte lip balms. It seems to be existing formulas in new shades with a really unique packaging. Again, I don't need any of this, but I will say at least this looks like a really well thought out release, which honestly, in this day and age, that's all we can ask for. Another release that is happening is the Wonder Snatch Concealer by NYX. This is something that got leaked apparently last year. They weren't ready to release it, and everybody was like, where's this concealer? But apparently they weren't ready to release it, but they are releasing it now. I'm really intrigued to try this out. I will say, NYX has a great track record when it comes to concealers. They make amazing concealers, and I am still wearing the foundation. The Make 'Em Wonder foundation. This has been my go-to foundation since I first tried it. It is literally top 3 best matte foundations I've ever tried in my life. If you want to have a flattering, long-wearing, gorgeous matte foundation, that is the one. Cannot recommend it enough. So I will definitely be trying this concealer out. Also some new releases from Rare Beauty. Same here. Rare Beauty is one of the brands. I haven't gotten a hold of them. Maybe they're sending this to Texas. Maybe they're not. Who knows? Who knows what's going on, but they are releasing a new natural matte longwear foundation. 2026 really is the year for matte, and I think we're getting into more visible makeup, and matte makeup usually is something that looks a little bit more visible on the skin. I really did not like any of the foundations that Rare has had before, so I really hope that they're able to bring out something that I will like this time. This one is coming. It's not a date for it, but I'm excited. Although I'm a little weary, but I will try it. We'll see how I feel about it. But yeah, when it comes to foundations, Rare Beauty does really not have the best track record for me. I will say though, I have this one here. The new eyeshadow palette. This actually got to me in PR before I left, and I have been using this one. This is the new neutral collection by Rare. They came out with their brown mascara, brown eyeliner, I think, and this palette, this formulation. It's pretty good. The mattes are giving me like, that's a really good matte formula. That is a really good matte formula. So I will say, if this is something you're looking for, don't knock it until you try it. I will say I was very impressed with the formulation of that one. That was very, very impressive. I've also seen this one in store, the new Benefit blush sticks. They also released a liquid blush. That wasn't as exciting. These blush sticks, they're a cooling jelly, but they're not the jelly that you can like, they're a stiff jelly, but they feel like cooling on the skin. They have this beautiful like not metallic, but like shimmer formula. I will say I swatched these in store and I was like, okay, so this also, it's going on the wish list. This is more exciting than I thought it was going to be. I swatched it in store. I was at Kicks in Sweden and I was like, oh dang, this is actually really nice. So again, if you have the opportunity to swatch these in store, definitely do. They look incredible. Okay, so let's talk about a few fragrances then before we leave, because I am actually really excited about some of the fragrances that are coming out. Of course, first one, we have the Only Sunshine. This is the collab between Michaela and Sniff. I don't think you can get Sniff outside of the US. I'm not 100% sure. Please let me know if you're living in Europe. Are you able to get Sniff somewhere? Because I actually really do love Sniff. So this is supposed to be their collab, and it is a tropical notes of mango, papaya, orange blossom, sea breeze, accord, amber, and musk. Fruit-drenched, sun-soaked. This is not... It's a fruity floral, which can be something for me, but I have so many fragrances that probably feel like this, so I think I'll be good with this one without this one. This is one of those that I would probably have to smell and be like, when you say fruity floral, how floral do you mean? Because I don't like a floral fragrance. So that's one of those where I'm like, I don't know about that. Then Julius Has a Gun has announced 2 different ones. One of them is Banana Rush. 1,000,000% will be getting this one. This is available, it will be available at Sephora. Juliet Has a Gun is available in Europe as well. I've seen it at Sephora Sweden. We were in Stockholm last weekend, which was amazing, by the way. It was so much fun. This is a delicious blend of ripe banana and warm maple syrup with a lush tropical heart of creamy coconut and frangipani flower. It is supposed to be some sandalwood in the background. This is probably a very gourmandy banana, but when it says ripe banana, I'm thinking it's going to be very banana forward, and I'm very intrigued by this one. They also have just announced that they're coming out with the Madeleine Imperial, which is supposed to be blood orange, Madeleine Accord, saffron, and patchouli. Again, I think this one could be for me as well. So I actually just recently got a fragrance from Juliet Has a Gun. Is that with me here, or it might still be bubble wrap? I know I brought it here with me to Sweden, and I bought the Miami Shake, which is like a not my kind of fragrance at all, but I was very impressed. It is like a strawberry bubblegum, very cool fragrance, and it made me think, wow, Juliet Has a Gun seems to be a very intriguing brand, so I might actually pick up both of those. And then, of course, we have the Ellis Brooklyn Isla Sirena. I have that one here. This one got to me before I left the US. This is a very interesting fragrance because it says it has banana, and there is some banana in there, but immediately when you smell it, it is lime and sea salt. That is definitely, it's lime and sea salt. And then when it sets down, it is like a little warm tropical with a little bit of the lime and sea salt. There is some banana in there, but I would say first and foremost, it is lime and sea salt, which is a very fresh and interesting tropical scent. I think it's really good, but this, I would not count this as a banana forward fragrance, if that is what you're looking for. Then also Fleur is coming out with Honeymoon. I was able to change my PR address with Fleur, but they said they were not sure if they were going to be able to send it to me here in Europe. They said they were going to try. And if they don't, this is something that I really want to try out because I love the scent of honey. So I'm very intrigued by this. Again, where do you buy Fleur in Europe? Please let me know if you have any like feedback on that, because this one is mandarin, manuka honey, and vanilla bee. And mandarin is very close to clementine. What's it called? It's called a tangerine boy that they had. Oh my god, the fragrance is so good. I used up my travel one. I bought a full size. Love it. So if they're doing another one of like a citrusy one but with honey, I'm very intrigued to try this one out. Definitely. Oh, it also has saffron in there. Sold. Definitely will be trying this one out one way or another. Okay, I think that was everything. I feel like I have been filming for forever. The sun is almost here now. It is like 9:30 in the morning, and I was like, I need to film early before the sun gets here, because filming in natural daylight might seem like it's a breeze, but it's actually kind of tricky because you kind of have to plan your filming around the sun, and I'm not that person. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think down below. Let me know if there's any of these items that you really want to hear my thoughts about. I'm definitely able. And if you have any feedback on like where did you get these things in Europe, please let me know, because I am now currently in, I say Europe, but it's only because I'm right now in Sweden, but I will be moving to another country real soon. Actually, if you're still here, we are going to visit the place that might be our next home on Monday. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I hope I love it. But Wish us luck. I'm very excited. So I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day. I hope you're having a great, great weekend. Thank you so much, Gxve, for sponsoring another video. And thank you so much for supporting me, watching my videos, watching my sponsors, clicking their links. It really does help out because this has been truly a crazy, crazy time for me and my husband and our dogs. And all the support I can get is really, really helpful. Thank you for all the kind words as well. It really does help out. It makes me feel much more happy about everything, and I'm so excited for all the things that I'm gonna be filming and showing and doing once I move. I feel re-energized. I feel very happy and hopeful, and I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget to check out the sponsor down below in the description box and all the things that I mentioned down below as well in the description box, and I will see you when I see you for a new video.